Hi, welcome back to Less Stress for You and I. This is episode number 9, which we'll be dealing with volunteering. Volunteering, helping others helps you. Volunteering has a positive effect on your community, and it's good for you too. Giving back to your community is valued in itself, but helping others also offers many benefits. For example, it can help you learn more about yourself, whether you build houses for a homeless or mail flyers for a local politician. You can experience the real world through hands-on work, and you can explore your major or career interests at the same time. Both the people you are helping and your fellow volunteers can give you new insights. No matter what group of people you're working with, you'll find that they have information and ways of looking at the world that can broaden your horizons. It's eye-opening to realize that doing even small things can have a big impact on others. We have a few issues and a few ways of being able to tell if you're under a lot of stress. Number 1, is your blood pressure on the high side? Number 2, are you losing your hair? Number 3, are you having an experience stomach aches or constipation due to gastrointestinal issues? Number 4, do you often feel anxiety about things you can't control? 5, do you have trouble falling asleep because your body tensions or your mind is racing with stressful thoughts? 6, do you find yourself drinking alcohol more to relax, smoking to deal with stress, or using other vices? Number 7, do you have a general feeling of being overwhelmed by everything you're dealing with right now? 8, do you find that you have a short fuse these days, that you're more sensitive or irritable? Number 9, do you have more difficulties with decision making or concentrating these days, forgetting things? Number 10, have you become an emotional eater? Number 11, do you find yourself getting less joy from your work or feeling of sense of burnout? Do you feel less social than usual? Number 13, do you find yourself feeling exhausted? Number 14, do you find yourself getting sick more often than usual? Number 15, weight gain or loss suspect due to stress or storing more belly fat? Are you experiencing stress on a daily basis? Number 17, do you find that your libido has decreased, that you just too tired for sex? Number 18, do you have or experience tension headaches? Number 19, do you find muscle tension, especially in your neck, shoulders, and jaw? And number 20, do you have another symptoms that you think could be stress related? Again, we want to say thank you again for joining us at Less Stress for You and I. If you have any tips and suggestions, please contact us at morsemorse910yahoo.com. And again, it's up to you to be 100%. Back to you, Saran.
Thank you, Jimmy. I'm here with Chef Pat Higgins. This is the man right here. I mean, when you want to talk about gourmet, when you want to talk about just, good food, or you want to talk to this man right here. Now, Pat, if I can ask you, how long have you been a chef?
Going on 40 years now.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
What got you into it?
Well, when I was a little kid, my mom called home because she wanted my older sister to start dinner for her
Okay.
because she was being held up at her job. And, well, my sister was at school for some activity or detention, I forget what. But she basically told me how to start the beef stew. And, so I was to the point where she told me I needed to add the spices, and she said I needed salt, pepper, and bay leaf, and a couple more things. So I go to the spice rack and I find those, but I notice oregano, good in stew. So I put a little bit of that in. Thyme, good in stew.
You
So
just
I
started
ju-
experimenting. You
yeah,
went Frankenstein on it.
I just put a little of everything that said good in stew into it. And my mom got home and she helped me finish it up. And my dad was a postman, and he'd get home, he wanted to eat right away. So we get it just to the table. Here comes my dad. He sits down and he starts eating. He takes 2 bites. And he puts down his fork and he looks at my mom and he says, "Bobby, that is the best beef stew you ever made."
Wow. Oh, wow.
And I knew
Okay.
right then and there what I was going to do.
That's a good story. That's a
Yeah.
good. Now, you were in the service, no?
Yes, I was on board submarines, cooking
Cooking.
on a submarine.
That is a scary concept. Can you tell me a little bit? What's that like?
Well, once you get used to being shut into a capped sewer, ain't that bad.
Okay.
It's the worst part of the whole experience I had was I was night baker, and I'd be sleeping during the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's when they run the drills.
Of course. Of course.
So I got put into the plan of the day a couple of times, as found dead in my rack.
No doubt. No doubt. I would be.
Yeah. Other than that, it was you go a lot of places. I saw a lot of the world and got to meet a lot of great people.
So, in this experience as a submarine chef, it almost sounded bad on my tongue. Did you get to meet other chefs in other countries?
No, usually when we hit port, we would go out and hit the bars.
Yeah, okay. Navy, what do you expect?
Yeah.
So now, a little bit off topic, well, not quite off topic, but I wanted to ask you, I myself am a horrible cook. I do not like cooking. However, like my friend is a very good cook. My wife is a very good cook. And I noticed that when they cook, there's a certain amount of serenity that comes over them. And it struck me that it might be relieving stress. Do you find this to be the case for yourself?
For most cases, yes. It can be stressful
Okay.
when things start to go wrong or something like that. But if you're prepared, you know what you're going to do, you know how you're going to do it, then you get the pleasure at the end of feeding the other people and having them enjoy your efforts.
So, okay, if you could give me a step-by-step method, a methodology, what would it be for me to enjoy the cooking? Or for anyone to be able to enjoy making food?
Probably the best thing is learn how to do something first.
Okay.
Read your recipe, go through it in your mind, so okay, you're not constantly, trying to do stuff, cutting off your fingertips while you're trying to read the book.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
slightly inconvenient.
and that's pretty much it. Get used to the idea.
So let me kind of give that a synopsis. Are you telling me preparation?
Preparation is the key to cooking.
Okay, so let me walk you through a scenario and you tell me if this is right. So I want to cook, let's say, just spaghetti and meatballs, all right?
Okay.
So I know that I need spaghetti. I know that I need chopped meat. I know that I might want celery and some onions for the meatballs maybe. And so if I list everything down, right, and then I go ahead and section them off on my what would that be called? My counter.
Your
right?
countertop.
My countertop. Thank you. I know, simple person, simple mind. So I line everything on my countertop and make it accessible, like A, B, C,
Yes.
D, like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. That way, you know, everything's there. You're not scrambling. Oh, I forgot the eggs, or I forgot the onions.
Which would
Got-
add to your stress level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you got it all laid out before you start, that's called mise en place. Everything's in place. Then it's just a matter of bringing it all
Mise
together.
en place?
Mise en place.
Mise en place. And that is
French for in place.
French. I knew that. No, I
So-
didn't. Okay. So, now, is it just the food? Because I would think, you know, certain foods are good, like with carbohydrates. Other foods are good with vitamins and proteins, minerals, and so forth. But is that what is helping to relieve stress? Is
Yeah,
it the
there's-
act of cooking? Is it spices? What? Tell me, what is it?
Well, it's a bit of, you know, the flavors, the smells, because smells can relieve stress.
Yes, that's
You
a
know.
good point. Excellent point.
And when you make something, you're putting, you know, your heart and your soul into it, and you're giving it out to people to enjoy.
Okay.
And that helps your stress.
So you're saying to me that when I come in the house and I smell that my wife done made the lasagna that I love, the aroma set off some type of serotonin kind of response that
Yeah.
made me, okay, I kind of like that. That's kind of weird, but yeah, I can see that. So when it comes to cooking, what do you recommend a person not to do?
Well, you don't want to jump into a big, elaborate meal to start off with.
Okay.
You want to take baby steps.
All right.
You know, first
Scramble an egg.
Scramble an egg.
Try
Burn some toast. You know?
Okay, yeah. I've done
You know,
that.
yeah. So it's just building up your skill set.
Okay.
You know, and eventually, you know, try new things and, you know, read cookbooks, see something you say, oh, that might be good.
Okay, but see, here, this is what strikes me as odd. You told me your very first experience was an experiment that turned out to be superb.
Yeah.
My experiments do not turn out this way.
I got lucky.
Okay, see, I wanted to hear that. I wanted you to admit that. So now, what do you say to the person that has a limited budget but wants to eat healthily?
Well, there's a lot of farmers markets that are coming back
Yeah.
into season, and you can get good value at a farmer's market. You can use a lesser cut of meat. Might take a little longer to cook, but you know, it still can be delicious.
Okay, okay. Because of the spices,
Yeah,
not because of the meat.
well, the meat, it's a matter of how you cook it. You know, if you like.
Now I got a question for you.
Okay.
How do you take meat that's not of a great cut? I don't want to say cheap. I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
But not of a great cut, and make it still taste good.
Okay, let's take a chuck roast.
Okay. I mean, chuck it.
Yeah, it's basically a very fatty and very tough cut of meat.
Okay.
The trick to making a good pot roast out of a chuck roast is low and slow and plenty of seasoning and plenty of carrots and onions and celery to roast it in.
So are the spices breaking down the meat? Is that
Well,
the fat
salt,
fibers? On
salt
the,
will help break down.
Okay.
The pepper and the garlic are mainly flavorings.
Okay.
And there's certain acids in onions that will help break down the meat. And the carrots add flavor, so does the celery. And you put them all into your roaster, boil it real tight, and put it in the oven and let it go for 3-4 hours. And it will come out just tender and tasty. And
I
you
can't wait 3 or 4 hours to eat, man.
well, put it in the morning when you get ready to go to work, and put it down
Wait,
at
who
like
told you I worked? No. Okay, so I have this question for you here. How is it that a person, like, I don't know how to phrase this. I want to be a good cook, but I don't have the patience.
Well, that's number one in being a good cook. is
Okay, patience.
Patience.
Okay.
You can't rush it.
I guess I won't be a good cook then. All right, so now I'm going to ask you to reveal an embarrassing moment here, Pat. What was the worst, most disastrous dish you've ever done and recommend to everyone? Don't try this unless you're willing to give up your life.
Yeah. Oh, God. I haven't had too many of those, but one that I can remember is I got a little heavy-handed with the salt once on spaghetti. And I mean, it was, okay, this is ready for the trash can. I can't eat that.
Okay.
I'm going to have a stroke if I take another bite.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of salt.
Yeah.
And so is there a particular spice or spices or foods, for that matter, that you would say is conducive to relieving stress?
Desserts. They are, the combination of sweet and, whether it be a custard or a mousse, that you start eating that, you got to feel good. Yeah, looks like you're starting to drool.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, no, that sounds lovely. And do you recommend alcohol with
Oh
meals?
yeah, you can pair wines or liqueurs or beers. All depends on the food you're eating and the mood you want to set.
Okay, so now I'm looking to stay healthy. Is it a good idea to have alcohol with my meals?
In moderation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Anything
with
in
most things,
excess,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. All right. So you've been, I understand, doing some volunteer work at a kitchen.
I actually work with volunteers.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only paid kitchen staff at the church that I work at.
Nice job, nice gig.
And everybody that comes in to help are my volunteers.
Okay.
And being a volunteer for me, they get to learn how to do things.
Okay.
I mean, I've had people, I show them how to prep a pepper, bell pepper, and they're like, I never knew it could be this easy. Because most people will cut it right down from the stem down to the bottom, then break it open, then they got to pull out all the seeds and the pith. Proper way, you just slice off the top, just below the stem, slice off the bottom, and then take your knife and cut down the side, and you can just cut around, and the whole core comes out in one piece.
Wow, do you demonstrate that for us in one of the segments?
Not this time.
Wow, I would have liked to seen that. That would have saved me a whole bunch of trouble because I do like peppers.
Yeah.
So my next question being that when you're at your job, doing your job, right, and you're helping these volunteers, what is the spiritual or mental goal you're trying to achieve for yourself, or is there one?
Oh, it's, the ability to help them. And being a volunteer, when you're volunteering of yourself, you're actually, giving of yourself.
Yes.
And that helps them feel better about themselves, relieves any stress they may be experiencing, helping, because I'm supportive.
Sure.
I'll say, wait a minute, let me show you a better way to do that. I don't jump on them.
No, you're supportive.
I'm not a Chef Ramsay.
Right. Oh, yeah, that guy.
I wouldn't have my job if I was. So I just help them, learn how to do stuff. And I mean, you saw the footage. I had each day roughly 8 to 10 volunteers that were in the kitchen or out in the dining room helping. And that's not even the half of it. During the first and the fifth Sundays of the month, the church also sponsors a community meal. And they have like 30 to 40 volunteers that come in to help. All I do for that is get the food ready. Then, I get 2 volunteer cooks, and I go over the menu with them, show them what needs to be done, and I usually stay there until, until, it's pretty much in the bag, where it's just, okay, you need to take these out at that time, these need to go in at that time, and then I bid them a good night, and I go home.
And then you're gone. All right.
Yep.
So I'd imagine that you've fed one or two communities easily by now.
By now, I probably closing in to, I'd have to say close to 400, 500,000 people in my lifetime.
That's got to be an amazingly good feeling, no?
Yeah, it is. Because, like I said, cooking is nourishing other people.
Right.
Yeah, they derive enjoyment from it. I derive enjoyment from their enjoyment.
So in nourishing them, you nourish your soul.
Yep.
I like that. I like that. It's poetic. That's very good. So now, to kind of wrap this up, why don't you tell me, because I asked your worst, what was the best dish you've ever done? Is there a best dish?
Oh, I've done so many.
Oh, good Lord, please. Give me an
Probably
answer.
the predominantly elegant was a surf and turf roulade.
Describe, please.
Okay, I basically took 2 tenderloins, whole tenderloins,
Okay.
and I filleted them the length of the tenderloin, so they were roughly a ½ inch thick. Then I took 8-ounce lobster tails, 4 of them, and put the tails and the heads like that on top of one of them, brought it over and took the second one, flipped it, because you got one side that's going to be wide and one that's going to be skinny. You flip it around.
Right, right.
Then you tie it up with butcher twine,
Okay.
sear it in a pan or on a grill, put it in a roaster, bake it for about 45 minutes at 350. Surf and turf roulade. You just slice it and you got a nice little center piece of lobster and beef around. And a roulade just means roll.
Wow, that sounds so good. Okay. I think I'm going to go eat some surf and turf with my good friend Chef Higgins here. And hopefully this interview helped a few of you get kind of interested in cooking.
Hi, I'm Bill Brandt. I'm chair of the Food Service Committee here at Hennepin. My wife and I have been members since 2010, and one of the appeals of this church for us was the community outreach that we do here at Hennepin, and we initially got involved with community meals and in the giveaway area, and later I became a member of the Food Service Committee, and I'm now the Food Service Chair. And one of the great things we do here at Hennepin is have breakfast after worship service every Sunday from September through May. And that's one of the chief focuses of the Food Service Committee, and I'm proud to be part of that.
Hi, and your name is?
Melanie Wang.
Hi, my name is Stacy Grimes.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Mattison.
Larry Olson.
My name is Paul LaFrenz.
My name is Tom Jackson.
I'm Anna Wise. Hello, my name is Kim Jackson.
Friends of mine who attended here, they invited me.
Oh, okay, okay. And today you're here volunteering?
Yes, I am.
And I am a member of Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church. I've been a member for about 15 years and have volunteered in quite a few different capacities here.
I'm a 30-plus year member of Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church. I volunteer here at Breakfast at Hennepin.
I love volunteering here to prepare for the brunch on Sundays. It's a free will offering brunch, and I feel like this is a way to give back.
I have been with the Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church for almost 2 years.
I've been volunteering at a church for probably the last 8 years, doing the brunch here. I also volunteer Habitat for Humanity through the church.
I'm a volunteer at the Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Dignity Center. I help with the cooking, and I'm doing culinary school right now. And in a couple of weeks, I do my intern. I'll be doing my intern right here at the church with Patrick. They're a great crew, great group, good folks to work with. I enjoy what I'm doing. It's a pleasure to serve other people. After giving back is what it's all about, and as much as I've been given, it's a pleasure to do that.
I am here at Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church, and I am volunteering in the mornings on Sundays and Saturdays to help with the church's breakfast that we put out for all the folks.
Before you volunteer, what in the past have I enjoyed doing? What do I want to do as a volunteer? How much time can I commit? What types of talent or skills can I offer? What kind of people do I want to work with? And most of all, what would I most like to learn by volunteering?
Greetings and salutations. This is Saran from Less Stress for You and I. Jimmy and I would like to welcome you. Come volunteer with us. When you volunteer, you get to do so many wonderful things. One, you get to meet interesting people. You get to broaden your horizon and your perspective. You know I like that, Saran's perspective and all. Volunteering also builds character, and it also lets people know, you know what? It's not just about the greed, sometimes it's about the need. So come on down, volunteer, give some good time, give some goodwill, and you know what? You're gonna go home with a full heart and a full soul. It's good to feed the mind, it's good to feed the body, it's good to feed the soul. Come and feed yourself. Volunteer, y'all. It's good for you. Peace out.
Good afternoon. My name's Pat Higgins. I work with Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church, and today I'll be showing you how to make the classic hollandaise sauce. So in this bowl, I have 1 egg yolk. I'm going to add just a little bit of white pepper, about half a teaspoon, and just a little bit of salt, also about half a teaspoon, a dash of Tabasco, a dash of Worcestershire, and roughly 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Now the rest I'll pour into the pot here, because when you do a poached egg, you want to have an acidic level to the water so the eggs poach properly. Need just a little more cooking. Now you can't rush this. It just takes its time. Put my pre-poached eggs into the water to start warming. And if you're vegetarian, you can also, instead of using Canadian bacon, you could grill a portobello mushroom cap, or spinach, or any topping that you would like. And we'll just drizzle this over the top. I normally would garnish it with some parsley or paprika, but I didn't bring any today. And that's your classic Eggs Benedict, which was actually made by, or invented by a columnist back in 1896.
I don't see the teleprompter.